Prepare yourselves, my friends, for this once-in-a-lifetime showdown between the High Elves, who shall be led by Mecha Sigmar. But more importantly, guys, it's going to be the dreaded double Flamespire build facing off against the dreaded double Ark of Sotek build. So it's going to be Wicked D on the High Elves facing off against Falcon, who's going to be leading the forces of the Lizardmen with a Tic-Tac-Toe themed build. So it's going to be Tic-Tac-Toe, looks like a Skink Priest up in the skies, a Skink Chief, and then a bunch of Pterodon Riders, one of which is going to be the Powhawks of Sentinels. So firstly, for the High Elf army, it's going to be Spearmen in the front line, which, you know, they just hold, they allow your missiles to do a good job. Spearmen, yeah, they're going to get crumped on by Saurus, and even Skink troops can kind of punch through them, but still, 50 melee defense for the cost, quite good. So against Saurus and Temple Guard and things like that, they do hold, allowing your sisters and your cav units and your star dragons and all your big scary monsters to do the heavy lifting. But more importantly, the punch in his army is going to be coming from the double Flamespire Phoenix. So yes, guys, we're going to be getting a massive meme battle up in the skies. It's going to be an air force of Tic-Tac-Toe. So it's going to be just Pterodon Riders and Chiefs and Tic-Tac-Toe himself facing off against the double Flamespire Phoenix. But I actually like the Phoenixes against dinosaurs. They're really fast. They have 120 speed. So I think they're actually the fastest flying unit in the game without, you know, taking into account buffs and things like that. 120 speed, good armor piercing. They're able to chase down dinosaurs. And yeah, I'm really interested to actually see the interaction with this Tic-Tac-Toe Air Force here. It's going to be fun. But in the back, he does have a couple groups of the Sisters of Avalorn. They're going to be going in and trying to snipe out the high value targets, trying to net down Tic-Tac-Toe. And it looks like for the leadership of the High Elves, it's going to be Teclis. So Teclis does have access to nets. No healing though. He has Chain Lightning. And I mean, I guess the Flamespire Phoenixes do heal themselves, so they could potentially, you know, just compensate in that regard. But he does have the Nets of Ammontok, Chain Lightning, as well as Enfeebling Foes. So man, get a little bit hog wild here, to say the least. Two groups of Silver Helms in the back, which if you are relying on spears to hold your front line, it's really nice to have some hammering cav. It's much like if you're playing Empire, for example, using State Troops. Just throw a couple Empire Knights or Reichsguard back there, cycle charge them in the front line, and it'll really help you hold that front line, therefore allowing your archers to get more value. That's pretty much it for the High Elf army. And for the forces of Falcon, who's going to be leading this glorious Air Force. He's got Pterodon Riders, and Powhawks of Sentinels. He does also have a Heavens Caster with Wind Blast, which is pretty much a competitive staple against High Elves. Extremely good against Sisters, Archers, Spearmen. It is just such a good spell. He's got Tic-Tac-Toe, and I am going to pause it for just a second because you don't see Tic-Tac-Toe terribly often. So let's go ahead and take a look at what he's got here. So he does have the Drop Sphere of Tepak here, which does slow combat, and that's pretty nice. And he does also have the Master of the Skies, which was his melee defense up to 95, and also helps with the speed. So it makes him a pretty good duelist, so good stuff there. But yeah, he's got a Pterodon Air Force, he's got a Skink Chief. Aside from that, he's got a couple of groups of red-crested skinks in the cohort of Sotek, Spear Riders in the back, which are going to be quite good against some of the Reavers and Silver Helms and things like that. And yeah, they're just a nice inclusion against the big monsters as well. But this is where things get really interesting. He has the double Ark of Sotek. Now these, I think, certainly qualify as a meme unit. It just feels like you're just paying for like a slightly souped up it's like buying like just kind of like a beater car and just like putting like a jet engine on it, you know. It's still going to be like a piece of shit, but at the end of the day it's like a little bit better. The Ark of Sotek obviously does have AoE poison damage, I think. Yeah, it does like damage, and it's just so haggard. Like, it's so haggard, this thing. But I'm really excited to see this in action. Maybe Falcon knows something I don't about those things, but man, it's going to be really fun to see this build in action. He's clearly having some fun. So let's get the show on the road, guys, and see how it goes. So right here up in the skies, you can see Wicked D with some nice focus fire here. He's going to be shooting at the Tic-Tac-Toe. He's also going to be dropping a net with Teclis, it looks like. So very good play there by Wicked D, getting that juicy net. Now, Wind Blast did go down on the Lothran Seaguard, but I like that he layered the Sisters of Avalorn a little bit further back, so it would be harder to Wind Blast him without taking fire and getting netted. So the Priest also took a little bit of fire. The Phoenixes are also going to be looking for some of those sweet targets, and it looks like they do decide to go on the ground here. And the Spearmen are going to be fighting the red-crested skinks, which it looks like they would lose over a long fight here, but more importantly, the Bastiladons, the Ark of Sotek, are going to be charging in a nice countercharge coming in from Wicked D, going to be slamming into those troops in the front, but the Ark of Sotek is going to be blowing its load here and launching a bunch of snakes. And I'm quite curious about the damage output. Like, I think maybe after this video we can do a test. We'll get the Ark of Sotek and test it against some state troops, but it looks like it's doing okay damage, and more importantly, it does apply AoE poison. So the Sisters of Avalorn are going to be shooting into the center pocket. They're actually going to be focusing down the Ark of Sotek, which isn't a bad idea. Personally, I'd probably try and snipe out Tic-Tac-Toe, but of course Falcon has really good micro and probably wouldn't be able to dodge that. I guess just wait for your nets, and whenever your nets are up with Teclis, you then do it. So in this main fight, it looks like the Pigeons are going to be jumping down and attacking the Bastiladons, trying to get rid of those Arks of Sotek. But the Lizardmen front line really just crumped all over the High Elf core. So the Ark of Sotek perhaps dropping some sick beats here. And the Spearmen are going to be crumbling. Obviously, the Spearmen aren't going to be like super solid against a Dino Onslaught and terror-causing monsters and on top of being poisoned and stuff like that. But even still, they're not doing bad. So the double Flamespire Phoenix here taking a little bit of work actually from Tic-Tac-Toe. Tic-Tac-Toe does have pretty good AP values. Granted, the Phoenix is only have 30 armor, so that's not going to be terribly significant. In the back, you can see here that Falcon is going to be jumping back here using his Air Force, so the Pterodon Riders are going to be swooping in and attacking the Sisters. Now, Sisters are actually quite durable in combat. They have really good combat stats for being an archer unit, and the Flame-Spired Phoenixes are going to swoop back here, and they should be able to easily clean this up. Also, we have some Silverhelms coming back in. So suddenly, this massive force here for Falcon, the Powhawks, the Sentinels, and these other guys are going to get crumped pretty bad. You can see they're going to be getting terrified, beaten down by the superior Phoenixes, and also these Sisters of Averlorn are back online in full health. These guys barely took any damage. So they're going to be unleashing their volleys here into the Golden Spear Riders, trying to get rid of the mobility here for Falcon. Looks like a Chain Lightning is going to be going down as well. Chain Lightning is going to be cutting through a lot of these skinks, so pretty cool stuff, seeing some very unorthodox play here by both players. It's going to be chewing through there, and it looks like some of the Silverhelms are still able to chase off the Powhawks and Sentinels. So the Pigeons are still alive. One of them is very beat up. Tic-Tac-Toe could potentially come in for the Alpha Strike, but it looks like he's getting a little bit hungry back here, trying to get on Teclis. The Teclis is going to be dropping that net, Enfeebling Foe, and that Master of Disguise is popped, which gives him a speed buff. Wow, how is he not breaking here, man? He was taking a ton of damage. But Teclis jumps in there. These Sisters, if they're in guard mode, will continue to shoot here, but it looks like Tic-Tac-Toe is going to be really benefiting from that really high melee defense right now. Of course, going to be counterbalanced a little bit by the Enfeebling Foe, but nonetheless, the Pigeons are back up in the skies. One of them, and he gets the Rebirth! Wicked Z with a massive Rebirth. Now, had that not happened, I think Falcon would have been in pretty good shape here, but with that Rebirth effect, that is huge. I mean, that thing took a ton of damage, and then it just healed back up to full. Nasty, nasty stuff coming down from that Pigeon, and suddenly Falcon has a lot more stuff he has to deal with. So Wicked D going to be coming in with a nice rear charge right here into the back of these guys, going to be hammering into these skinks against the anvil of the Spearmen, and that's going to be pretty good. Maybe going to be dropping some bombs here with the Flame-Spired Phoenix. Certainly can do some good damage against lightly armored targets. I mean, the bombs do pretty good stuff, but it looks like this is the cohort of Sotek. Maybe no, they're just very aggressive skinks. So they're going to be jumping in, trying to get a terror route right here, and it looks like the little skinks up in the skies have been kind of tough to catch. I'm surprised the Phoenixes weren't able to get those guys. Sisters are going to be turning and shooting at the Skink Priest right here, who is shaken. So if he actually got broke right here, he might just run off the edge of the map, but it looks like a Wind Blast is going to be going down, blasting those Sisters, and also you can see the Golden Riders thinking about engaging, but it looks like their AI did get tethered on something, so they did maybe tag some of those Spearmen right there. Phoenix is going to be jumping in. Sisters are going to be unleashing their full salvo against those Golden Spear Riders. It's certainly going to be quite nice. Now, Bounce Fire is pretty much dead, even a little bit in the favor of the High Elves here. And in the back, you can see the Ark of Sotek still going strong. He's got that cold blood. Maybe going to be dropping some sneaky snakes here. Are there snakes in the ground? There are snakes in the ground, so the High Elves are being chewed by some of those snakes right there. And it looks like the Ark of Sotek is able to break those guys off. So it's going to be charging in right here. And the Flamestar Phoenix, how did this one break? Oh no, was this the second one? I think this was the second Phoenix that got really low and it healed itself back up to full. Oh, that is brutal. So the Rebirth effect on the Phoenixes going off twice in this matchup. Those Flamespire Phoenixes are going to be a nightmare to deal with here. So they're coming back in. Teclis is going to be getting in with the sword. Sisters are going to be shooting back up into the skies. Granted, if you look around, Falcon does have a lot of pressure. He's got all this like Pterodon Air Force. Though they're beat up, they're still all there for the most part. He does have the Skink Priest, Ark of Sotek, and a lot of infantry. So they might be able to kind of chew out the ground forces. If Falcon is going to be able to crump on the Sisters, push them off the map, it's going to force the Phoenixes to land, which is going to make it a little bit of a trickier fight, because then they'll have to come fight all these infantry and all those goodies there. So the Sisters here are going to be fighting to the bitter end, but there is going to be an onslaught of dinosaurs here. You can see Falcon's massive air force is going to be charging in, but the Flamespire Pigeon is going to be coming back in and attacking, potentially getting a terror out here. Of course, the Flamespire Phoenixes do cause terror, and you can see here, how does a Morngul not cause terror, but a Flamespire Phoenix does? I mean, Mornguls are way scarier than these guys in my opinion. But anyways, that's another discussion. So Flamespire Phoenix is here, going to be getting in the fight, but there's a lot of Lizardmen. There's a lot of poison coming in. All these little red-crested skinks do, of course, apply poison, so this entire High Elf force is going to be poisoned, but the Bounce Fire is still in their favor. Flamespire Phoenixes are very powerful. Powhawks and Sentinels are going to be going down here. I mean, powerful for, what they are. Good AP, good stats, and of course they can heal themselves back up to full, which is pretty cool. And Teclis is also still in okay shape. He does have the Potion of Koroi here, which is going to be solid, and so if he gets focus fired, Teclis is actually surprisingly tanky, and it looks like Wicked D does also have the Sword of Teclis, so if he wants to get fisticuffs and go, fight tic-tac-toe, he's certainly going to be capable. So Falcon is able to push off these Sisters of Averlorn. These ones are just beat to hell. The other Sisters got beat down as well. So it looks like there's 2 Flamespire Phoenixes for the High Elves, a couple Spearmen, but mostly it's just Teclis and the 2 Flamespire Phoenixes. So what an incredibly close game. Very well played to both players here. And it looks like we're going to have an aerial duel between the Skink Chief. Now he has 33, 36, 310. The Phoenix has 40, I almost said something. Oh my god. The Phoenix has, what is it? Come on, stop moving. 42, 30, and 264 when he's poisoned. Granted, I think the Phoenix in a vacuum would be a little bit stronger, but the poison coming in from the darts is going to make a pretty big difference. So committing to the ground force right here, the 2 Phoenixes are going to be trying to get rid of the very tanky Bastillodons. The other one's going to be charging in. Teclis is holding Potion of Koroi, healing him, and giving him a massive ward save. Probably going to get a tear out on the little skinks when they come back in, which would be pretty nice. But both players just throwing all the spaghetti at the walls here, seeing what sticks. And look at that, the pigeons doing massive damage to Ark of Sotek. Very, very good enfeebling foe play coming in here. And Teclis is going to be circling around looking for those targets here, but you can see the Flamespire Phoenix is getting low himself. And he's at his healing cap. There's no more tricks. He's not going to be healing back up again. And it looks like this Flamespire Phoenix is going to be going down while the other one drops some pretty good little bombs on top of the blob here. And with that, you can see the red crested skinks are going to break. This guy might actually live. He has 452 HP. He's going to be running away here, and I think that maybe the skink priest or chief could chase him down. I think Tic-Tac-Toe just randomly died earlier in the battle with like some sort of missile attacks, but the bounce power is now massively going in the favor of the High Elves here, as they're going to be cleaning up shop, and it's looking pretty grim for Falcon, as the High Elves are going to get a mass rout. He does still have the Chief up in the skies. He does also have the Bastillodon with the Ark of Sotek, but I mean, Wicked should be able to chase off this Bastillodon, 100% chase that off the battlefield, and maybe get the other Flamespire Phoenix and just chase down the Skink Priest. It's a close battle. I mean, these characters aren't pushovers for sure. The Skink Priest isn't a bad combatant. There's also some Skinks coming back in, which could be helpful. But it looks like this Bastillodon is going to get broken off the battlefield, as Falcon does try and salvage it using the Cold-Blooded, but again, the Phoenix being so close to it, it's probably not going to come back. So Teclis is in the duel of duels right now. He's actually going to be fighting the Skink Priest, who does have Harmonic Convergence. That's going to make him pretty strong, but Teclis has okay combat stats, 38, 40, and 280. If he does pop his sword, he's going to become a substantial threat for sure. So the Phoenix is able to chase off that Bastillodon. He's going to be coming back in now. Balance of power is still heavily in the favor of the High Elves, and you can see the Flamespire Phoenix is going to be jumping in, attacking the Pterodon Riders here on the ground. But that nice little dart poking fire, it really adds up. He only has 4 shots, and remember, a while back, the ammunition on the Skink Chiefs was actually nerfed. So potentially, like, had this been pre-patched, like, this guy would have been shooting for, like, another 20 minutes and could have just kited it out. But he's out of ammo now with another 2 shots, and the Flamespire Phoenix is getting very low, but Teclis coming in with the steel Wizard Chair. And just going to be beating down the Skink Priest, who's probably going to be breaking off the map. The other Ark of Sotek's coming in as well. Man, what a crazy fight by these two players here. And the Bastillodon charging in against the Flamespire Phoenix. Oh man, he's coming in. Is he going to launch the snakes? We're not sure if he's going to launch the snakes. Doesn't look like it, because again, the Phoenix is probably just going to run away here. And the Phoenix doesn't have that much HP left. It has 590. Teclis getting in there and breaking these guys as well. Look at the bounce of power. It's a roller coaster right now, as Teclis actually gets a little bit beat up by the Pterodon Riders, plus the Skink Chief up in the sky. Is doing some pretty good damage. So the Bastillodon with the Ark of Sotek, 840 HP, -3 leadership. Wow, this Flamespire Phoenix is just doing work. Teclis able to break these guys, potentially 11 leadership. If the Phoenix can charge back in and break these guys, that's going to be really nice. And I wonder what the cooldown is on the Sword of Teclis. The Sword of Teclis, for anyone that doesn't know, let's go ahead and show you guys, just so you can be prepared for the final showdown here. It does give him weapon damage, melee attack, and armor piercing. So it's a pretty big stat boost for sure. So Teclis is going to be chasing the Bastillodon off the map here. The Flamespire Phoenix, though, is in a bit of a pickle, because his Skink Chief can easily just attack him and probably kill him. 479 HP, and with nothing on the ground for the dinos, it has to fight up in the skies. So Falcon should be able to easily just 2v1 this Flamespire Phoenix right here, and then from there, it's going to be Teclis versus these guys. So man, Balance of power is still heavily in the favor of the High Elves. Teclis is very healthy, and of course, he probably does still have the Potion of Koroi, maybe, and the Sword of Teclis. That's what it's really going to come down to, is the usage of those abilities here. And the Flamespire Phoenix does get broken, as Teclis is going to make sure this guy gets chased off the battlefield. What a tense battle. One of the best ones we've had on the channel in quite some time. Now Falcon is going to start suffering the penalty for having only aerial units. It's much like if you're playing Warhammer 40k, boots on the ground. If you don't have troops on the ground and all you have is flyers, you essentially just lose the game. So right here you can see Teclis is going to be fighting. He does pop the Enfeebling Foe, but Harmonic Convergence is going to counterbalance that. He still has Winds of Magic left. Can Teclis pull this one out, or are the forces of Falcon going to pull this one out? The Potion of Koroi going down, giving the ward save, putting him at his healing cap, so there's no more healing for Teclis. What you see is what you got, Bob. And the Skink Priest is going to continue to attack here, 1600 HP, give or take. And man, what a close fight. Is Teclis going to be able to get this Skink Priest? Cold-Blooded is keeping his leadership up, keeping him from breaking off. Even the little Skink hero characters have pretty good leadership, it would seem, but Teclis is taking a little bit of a hurting here, and you can see here that the bounce of power is normalizing. Teclis needs to get a couple shots. He gets the shot in, and with that, the bounce power goes back in the favor of the High Elves. What a close battle. 301 HP. Teclis is not going to be able to one-shot this guy, but he needs to get him off so he can then have the 1v1 duel versus the Skink Chief. Now, Skink Chiefs are pretty good melee combatants, and Teclis getting crumbs, but Teclis whacks him as well. 28 HP here, 545 here for Teclis, and it looks like the Skink Priest is broken. It's going to be Teclis versus the Chief, but no, that's going to be all she wrote. And wow, the High Elves dropped the game there. What an incredible game. Awesome stuff. It was so back and forth. The bounce power was so massively in the favor of the High Elves, but man, that was an insane game. Wicked, or also known aka Mecha Sigmar, played a really good game. His build was awesome. I love seeing the double pigeons in action, and that was just such an awesome game. We got to see Tic-Tac-Toe, Arks of Sotek, Pterodon Riders. It was a really cool showcase of a lot of very unorthodox units. So a big thanks to both of these guys for sending it in, because they played it, and I think they were like, hey, let's send this over to Turin and see if we'll cast it. And yeah, man, it was a great game. So thank you guys so much for sending that in. It's an honor to cast these games. That was awesome. So yeah, it was a cool build. Honestly, that could have gone either way. This build was pretty wild as well. The Arks of Sotek, 69 kills on this guy. He knows what's up. So he did pretty well. And yeah, that was crazy. I mean, Falcon is kind of like, if any of you guys have seen Terminator 2, I play against Falcon quite a bit. Falcon is kind of like, he's like the Terminator that, in Terminator 2, the one that Arnold has to fight, that just like, you keep like thinking you got it, but it just keeps like coming back and fighting. Yeah, he's like the, is it the T-1000? I can't quite remember, but it's like the metallic one that just like heals after you do damage to it. But yeah, it was pretty awesome. So very well played to both of these players. Wicked and Falcon, if you guys have Twitch channels, please link them in the comment section below. I'll do my best. Make sure to check those guys out. They're both awesome players, and we will see you guys next time. Take care.